Just a few easy steps for this homemade salt dough. I am quartering this recipe. It asks for 4 cups of flour, 1 cup salt, 1.5 cups warm water. I'm doing 1 cup of flour. Depends on how many children you have at home or how much dough you want to make. 1/4 cup of salt and 3/8 cup of warm water. I'm going to take that and stir it. Having a little extra water on hand in case it's not quite coming together. You can add just a little bit and continue to knead the dough. Looks like that will be enough to get us going. Once you have your dough how you like it, you can make ornaments. Today we are going to make, needs a little more water. Oops, that might be too much. We'll see. We are going to make robin's eggs, but get your oven preheated to 180. If your oven only goes to 200, that's fine too. And we will be baking our robin's eggs for about 30 minutes. You want to knead your dough for about 10 minutes, making sure all the ingredients have come together and your dough is nice and pliable, not too sticky, not too moist, just right for creating. So we're making these little robin eggs and we'll paint them to go in the nest that we made last week. But to do that, you just take a little bit of the dough. I find that you need to really rub it in a circle to get it nice and smooth. Otherwise, some of the lines from the dough will stay. So to get it, the surface nice and smooth, really roll it in your hands and then give it a little roll with a little bit more pressure on one side than the other to create where the egg will come up to get a little thinner at the top. And there you go. And if you want, you can obviously make a larger egg. See how if you don't really, smooth it out, it takes a little bit of time to really smooth it out. So keep that going until the surface is nice and smooth, and then shape your egg. Takes a little bit of time. Your kids could get a little frustrated, so the egg does not have to be a perfect egg shape. And then there we have a little bigger egg. So we'll keep going with that. I made a few of my eggs. I'm going to go ahead and place these onto a little piece of foil, and then I'm going to place these on a baking sheet and put them in the oven for about 30 minutes at 180. While those are cooking, I am going to play with my paints and see if I can get a nice blue robin's egg color. So I happen to have quite a bit of paint options here. One that is kind of like a robin's egg color. But if you have a bright blue, you could take a little bit of brown to tone that down. And always remember that the darker color that you're mixing in is going to dominate. So like we're going to take a little bit of black because the robin's egg color has kind of a gray, a little bit of a grayish tone. So just a little bit of that is going to significantly change this blue to more of a robin's egg blue. And then it's a little bit dark, so this is like the parent part where it's super fun if you like color theory or playing with colors. Adding a little bit of white. And that looks, I'm going to do just a little more white. And that looks pretty robin's egg color to me. So the robin's egg color really does have some browns to it, some gray to it, it's real gray blue, and then some white. So see if you can find some of those colors. If you don't have any of those colors in paint, you could always try them in chalk. I haven't actually tried that, but it might adhere to the clay because it's so porous, salt and flour. And that could be a fun experiment. It might not work, but it might. So there we go. Okay. They've cooked. You can actually leave them like this because I don't know if you can see that, but they have these little natural speckles on them just from drying. So you might want a couple different colored eggs. You can see how that is if you want some like that, or you can go ahead and you can just do a little bit of this painting. And then you'll let those dry. And take another little paintbrush with your darker colors on it and just do little spots for your robin's egg. And there you go. And then you'll let them dry and you'll put them in your nest, and I'll show you that finished product in just a second. And there you go. There are your little nests with your eggs. And if you don't want to paint them, you can just use them plain. You can see that they naturally have these little speckles on them, or you can paint them other colors or do whatever you like. Have fun, enjoy, happy Easter, happy spring. And there you go. There are your little nests with your eggs. And if you don't want to paint them, you can just use them plain. You can see that they naturally have these little speckles on them, or you can paint them other colors or do whatever you like. Have fun, enjoy, happy Easter, happy spring.